Hi, I'm Luz DeBay, and I love to talk about movies 24/7. I've been fascinated with films as long as I can remember, and I upload weekly. Today I'm going to be talking about some 2023 new releases that I missed. Some are pretty recent, some came out a little while ago, but I'm going to be ranking them as I go. Coming in at last place is Batman Doom That Came to Gotham. This movie has a cool idea that kind of mixes Batman with like H.P. Lovecraft, with a very mythical, like old creatures. This movie did not work for me at all. I mean, like, besides the idea being cool, they just I know it's supposed to be an Elseworld story. It's supposed to be different, which is fine, which I usually do like, but it's just too weird for Batman. It just didn't fit with the Batman character. It was just too bizarre, too out there. I like some of the new characters and had one really good Batman line. But overall, this movie just didn't work. Had some fun action sequences and some nice twists with the characters, but this movie just didn't work. It was just too bizarre. It was too boring, too different for Batman. I just didn't care for this one at all. Unfortunately, I give this one a C minus. Next up is Jagged Mind. This came out in June, I believe. Um, it's a horror movie. It came out on Hulu. It's kind of about abusive relationship and kind of like a time loop movie. And just for warning, if you do plan on watching it, can be kind of triggering because it is pretty graphic and kind of brutal. Even gives you a warning at the beginning of the movie. I didn't really like the beginning of this movie. I thought I was gonna end up hating it, but once it kind of picked up and you kind of see where it's going, it actually gets pretty interesting. It does a lot with kind of like the time loop time travel aspect. It's kind of both time loop time travel in a way. There's a lot going on. It's kind of a hard watch because like I said, it deals with abusive relationships. But besides that, it has good performances, pretty interesting. It's just kind of bland. It could have been a little bit better, um, and it could have got going a little bit quicker. But besides that, it's a decent enough movie. I would give it a C plus. Next up, Legion of Superheroes. I always thought the Legion of Superheroes was a really cool set of characters from the comics, and I actually got introduced to them in the show Smallville. So I was actually kind of excited to see this animated movie. These animated movies are kind of hit or miss for me. Sometimes I really end up liking them, sometimes I hate them, sometimes I love them. But this one is just okay. It really doesn't do anything special. It has some cool Supergirl moments. Some cool Legion moments. It has a little bit of Superman and Batman in it. But the story just wasn't that compelling enough, and the characters weren't compelling enough. It kind of just lost interest. I mean, it's entertaining for like a one watch. It's not a long movie. These DC animated movies never are. But it's just kind of bland. It's interesting enough, but it could have been better. That one's a C plus for me. Next up, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I didn't really like this movie. I am a fan of the Indiana Jones series. I really like the original three, and I actually got introduced to Indiana Jones with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That was the first one I saw in theaters when I was like 8. So I don't hate that movie as much as other people do. I'm not saying I love it. I just think it's okay, and that I'm probably a little biased since it's the first one I saw. I saw it in theaters with my dad. But I thought that one was way better than this one. I just didn't think this movie really worked. Like the de-aging is too distracting towards the beginning. A lot of the movie's boring. I didn't like the side characters, like his goddaughter. I don't even remember, his name is like Helena or something. Her name is like her name is Helena, I believe. Or I don't know. I actually don't remember. But I didn't like her character. She was too rude and arrogant towards Indy. I don't like some of the changes they made from the last movie. They kind of undo the ending of the last movie, which I never like. They do a lot of stuff off screen. I won't spoil, but it just didn't work. And just seeing Indiana Jones just so like old and bitter, it just doesn't really fit with the character. I mean, Harrison Ford's amazing, don't get me wrong, and there's some great action sequences, um, and it has a pretty cool ending towards the end. But that I don't love it, where the like the last 5 minutes, but like some of the stuff that you with the ending I did really like. But the villain's okay, I guess. It's just a bland Indiana Jones movie to me. I thought it could have been a lot better. Um, I would give this one a C plus. I wish it could have been a lot better. Next up is Insidious: The Red Door. I'm a big fan of the Insidious franchise. First two are some of my favorite horror movies of all times. Three was a great movie. I thought even four was pretty good. And Patrick Wilson directs this one, which is cool. And they bring back the Lambert family. Like anything I could ever ask for a next Insidious chapter. I always wanted to see a chapter. But all that being said, this movie was very disappointing. This isn't a spoiler. Most of this movie is just a rehash of the first two. Like almost like not 85-90% is this Dalton and Josh trying to remember what happened, and they're split up the whole movie. I won't spoil why. Well, it's not really a spoiler. It's in the trailer, but he's Dalton's in college and Josh is kind of doing his own thing. And one of my favorite aspects of the original movies was the family aspect. The children with the parents. Rose Byrne is barely in the movie, and the other siblings are barely in the movie. It's just basically Josh and Dalton, and they're split up. I was like, this is not interesting, and they're rehashing for the entirety of the movie. Like I said, about 90%. So that's just so disappointing. Like the 10% does something different, and it's so bland. It could have been so much better. I was pretty disappointing. I would give that one a C plus as well. Next up, Transformers: Rise of the Beast. I wasn't expecting much from this one. From the trailer, looked pretty bland. This one kind of surprised me a little bit. It was a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. It was actually a pretty fun Transformers movie. I really like the new character, Noah Diaz. And I can't remember the other character's name, but she was the female lead protagonist was pretty good. Had some great Transformers moments. I really like the locations they went to in the battle. The battle locations. I thought Pete Davidson was really good. In the movie, he's very funny. Some people didn't like his character. I thought his character was good, and they had a good connection. Pete Davidson had a good chemistry with the main character, Noah. Yeah, this movie was actually pretty fun. It kind of surprised me. I really liked the ending, the final battle, and I liked where they're deciding to go with the franchise. So yeah, overall fun movie. Not amazing by any means. It's not bad. It's just a perfectly fine Transformers movie. It's just enjoyable. I thought it was definitely worth your time seeing at least once. Next up, No Hard Feelings. Jennifer Lawrence comedy that came out in June. Kind of like a throwback, like 2005 R-rated comedy about her trying to kind of I guess seduce like this younger guy to get a car because his parents want their son to get out of the shell, so they hired this girl to basically sleep with him so she can get a car. But yeah, this movie is actually very funny, very enjoyable. Has some very heartfelt moments. Nothing mind blowing, not like one of the best R-rated comedies ever or anything like that. But it's very well done for what it is. Very well acted, extremely funny. Good story, flows very well. Even it has some pretty touching moments. I definitely had a good time with this movie. I would give it a B. Coming in at number one is The Flash. A lot of people hated this movie. I loved it. Actually, it took me 2 times to watch it to love it. The first time it was too jarring. That's what I was expecting on the Flash movie. I actually give it like a C plus when I first watched it, but I watched it again, like knowing what I was getting. End up loving it. I love Batman 89, Supergirl, phenomenal. Action sequences were amazing. This is actually one of the funniest movies I ever seen. I was laughing out loud several times throughout this movie. It was an extremely, extremely funny movie, and I barely laugh out loud at movies. Sometimes I just chuckle or say that's funny in my head. But it was a very, very funny movie. Like, I rarely laugh out loud, and especially as hard as I did. I was like probably laughing the loudest in the theater sometimes. That's how funny I thought this movie was. I thought the acting was very good from Keaton, from Sasha Calle, and Ezra Miller. Besides him being a really terrible person, in real life, and I hate him. But taking that aside, acting wise, he did a really good job in this movie. Or I'm sorry, they go by they or them. Great performances all around. Thought the runtime was good. The flow was good. Very intense. Some of the visual effects were absolutely terrible. Some were intentional. Some definitely weren't. I had a couple flaws with this movie. Some things were a little rushed. But overall, I thought it was a really good movie. I give it an A-. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Sorry I've been gone for a while. I just had a lot of life stuff going on. But I'm getting back to it now. Look forward to a bunch of videos. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.